A hash table. A hash table is a data structure that is used to store keys or value pairs. It uses a hash function to compute an index into an array in which an element will be inserted or searched. By using a good hash function can work well. Under reasonable assumptions, the average time required for to search of an element is O of 1. Now this O of 1 is just a time complexity term. Time complexity is not something that we'll be covering right now, but just consider that O of 1 is very less. Okay. Now how does a hash table works? So suppose you have three keys that you want to map to some bucket. Okay. So bucket is just a index table. Okay. Suppose like in the starting of any books you have this index table. In that index table you just have the name of the topic or name of the chapter, and then you have a page number corresponding to it. So instead of searching the whole book for the data or the content that you require, you just search the contents, or you search the index table first, and you see that okay, we have my required chapter at page number 40, so you directly move on to page number 40. In computers or in computer science, the problem is that we do not have contents, we have data numbers. So we have a particular value. So suppose you want to insert a data 10 or you want to insert a data 20. So in that case you cannot assign 10 is at page number 10 or 20 is at page number 20, so it makes no sense. And of course you cannot have a memory size of hundreds. Suppose you have 100 data entries, 1 2 3 4 till 100. You cannot directly map them to 1 2 3 4 and so on till 100, because you do not have 100 that much data space. Instead, what hash table suggests is, suppose you have 1 2 3 4 5. Suppose you have first 10 starting numbers, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and you have a bucket size or a memory size of only the size of your bucket. So right now the elements are 1 to 10, and the size of the bucket is 5. So you divide 1. When you divide 1 by 5, the remainder will be 1. So you put data value or key 1 in the bucket 1. So that is what is said here. Suppose this key is 1, and the hash function says the remainder when divided by 5. So 1 upon I'll just take this key because this is mapped correctly. So key is 1, and the bucket is key is 1. When divided, we have the remainder is 1. So we hash function, going through hash function, we get a bucket value that is 1, and at this bucket value 1 we have our value. Suppose if we are using 6, when we use 6, even in that case the value is the remainder is 1. So key, and we go through the hash function, and we again have 1. So in that case what we do is we are facing a collision. That is, already there was 1 in that data space, or that uh, space 1. Again you are wanting to add one more element that is at the same data space. So what will we do? That is collision. So before moving on to collision, it is required to understand collision to code hash tables. Okay. So before that, let us see more about hashing. Hashing is an important data structure which is designed to use a special function called the hash function, which is used to map a given value with a particular key for faster access of elements. So how you want to search 6, you calculate the remainder, it is 1, and you directly move on to the first location, or location 1, and the hash table or the bucket. Okay. Hashing is the process of mapping large amount of data item to smaller tables with the help of hash functions. Hashing is also known as hash algorithm or message direct function. It is a technique to convert a range of key values into a range of indexes of arrays. So that is what is a word or a definition in words of what I have explained you using the example of contents or index of a books. So there are a large number of contents and a large number of pages in our book. So what you do, you make an index at the starting of the book, so that every time you want to search something, you search that contents and you move on to your book, or you move on to your required page number. It is used to facilitate the next level searching method when compared with the linear or binary search. So it is used along with some other data structure. It is rarely or less used as a data structure by itself. It is always a supplement to some other data structure. Hashing allows to update and retrieve any data in a constant time. So no matter what you want to retrieve or change or update the data, the time will always be taken as O of 1. So the next line says the same. Constant time often means the operation does not depend on the size of the data. Hashing is used with a database to enable items to be retrieved more quickly. So exactly. So the first or the most basic application of hashing is to be used in while using databases. So when you want to retrieve some value from the database, hash tables make it very quick. It is used in encryption and decryption of digital signatures as well. Advantages of using hashing. The main advantages of using hash tables over other data structure is speed. This advantage is more apparent when the number of entries is large, like thousands, lakhs, or something that we see in our real life. Hash tables are particularly efficient when the maximum number of entries can be predicted in advance. So if you already have a data, suppose if you take the example of IRCTC, you know what are the number of seats that are going to be available for the particular train or in a particular class, sleeper, third AC or second AC. So in that case, hashing is very fast and is very helpful. Arrays can be allocated once, so that the bucket array can be allocated once with the optimum size and never resized. So always this one thing about hashing is that the size of hash table is fixed. You cannot alter. Okay. Hashing is just indexing of your data. So if you have a huge amount of data, hash table is used to index it, so that you can quickly go and search your data. Now the problem that we encountered was, suppose there are two datas that want to get filled in at the same place. For example, you are taking 1 and 6 at the bucket. If the bucket size is 5, for both the values, the remainder will be 1. So what will you do? Because you have already filled the bucket with 1, there is a collision because 6 also wants that space. So what will we do? Now that is the case where that is called collision. A situation when the resultant hashes for two or more data elements in the dataset U maps to the same location in the hash table is called a hash collision. In such a situation, there are two or more data elements would qualify to be stored or mapped to the same location in the hash table. There are various methods to solve hashing collisions. Now, there are two broad classes of solving collision resolve. Two broad classes of solving the collisions. They are separate chaining and open addressing. So what separate chaining says is, you just keep on. Suppose you are trying. If we take the example of 1 and 6, and first element we try is 1, the second element we try is 6. So in separate chaining, what happens is we enter the data in the first available slot. So we enter 1 at the location 1. Then when we try 6, 6 says no, this location is not empty, so put me somewhere else. So we search for the next slot that is empty. So suppose 0, 1 and 2 are our arrays or hash table. If I use this example to show you, 0, 1 and 2 are bucket values. So 0 is empty. At first position we have value 1. Then when 6 comes, it says 1 is full, so put me in the next empty slot. And when we iterate, the second slot is currently empty, so 6 will be filled in here. Now this technique is used when you do not want to extend your hash table. So it remains in the hash table only, there is no extensions of it. So this can be used. So hashing This can be used to resolve collisions, but while searching elements, if the element is not at that space, then it might increase or it will increase the searching time by some time. Okay. Now the other technique is open addressing, that is closed hashing. So in this in this type of collision resolution, what we do is if there are elements that are if there are two elements that are in collision or they are colliding for a space, if they are fighting for a space, so what we do, we keep the element that is already present in that space and we just move forward or we extend that element. So for example, if you I'll take the example of this. Just see this image. Do not go anywhere in these words, otherwise you'll get confused. So at hash zero, we already I'll take one as an example. So firstly, we have tried to input one, or if we go from right to left, we first try to input 81, and when we divide it by 10, our remainder is 1. So at the first location, we have 81 stored. Now, when we come across one also says that my remainder is also 1, so my hash key is also 1, so put me at 1. Now, when we check 1, there is already 81 available here. So what we do is we extend this 81. So this 81 is now a node, and this next pointer points to the next node where 1 is saved. So with this technique, we can extend this hash table. So that is what is open addressing, because this time there are infinite numbers of address that you can assign in the hash table. Now to do this, hash functions are of different types that are linear or depending upon the hash functions, we have the techniques as linear probing, quadratic probing, and double hashing. Okay. So in linear probing, what we do is we simply extend the hash tables, and in quadratic probing, the function is quadratic. So the hash key that you get is actually different for it is different. So 1 and 6 will not get the same hash key in that case if we use quadratic probing, and double hashing is yet another different technique that you can use for collision resolution. So quadratic probing and double hashing are a little bit complex. So we'll just go with linear probing. So I'll move on to the next slide explaining linear probing. So linear probing is a simple open addressing hashing strategy to insert an element x, compute h of x. H of x is nothing but the key value, and try to place x there. If it is full, keep moving through the array, wrapping around the free empty spots. That was linear probing. What we will be doing is we'll be just be simply extending the hash table. Okay, so while we do this, we'll be using linear probing. We'll be using linked list to implement linear probing. Now, in this type of collision resolution, we'll just simply use a node and we'll extend it.